Most companies completely overlook the relationships they're building or not building with candidates throughout the entire hiring journey. Let me ask you a real simple question. When was the last time you read your application confirmation email? You know, that automated message that goes out every single time somebody applies for a job? When's the last time you actually read it? Or did you ever read it? And does it add any value at all to the job seeker? My gut says that your team didn't even write it. It was probably the template from your ATS provider, and nobody ever even looked at it. And it honestly is not engaging. It doesn't talk about why you're a great place to work or anything like that. Here's something that might shock you. That one application confirmation email has an over 100% open rate. Now, if you understand open rate, you're like, hey, how can it be more than 100% of emails? It means people open it more than once. That's how important this touch point is to candidates. Yet most companies waste it with a boring transactional message. Think about this. After people apply to your job, you have a bunch of additional opportunities to engage with them. You'll send them a confirmation email. You're going to be screening them. Maybe you're going to send them out an assessment to take or a video interview. You'll decide who the finalists are. And in that next step, you might send them out an interview request, or maybe you'll send them out an offer letter. I want you to stop and think about all of these different touch points. These are the process that you're trying to drag the candidate through. And each of these is most likely some type of corresponding email or text message or phone call that goes along with it. But stop for a minute and ask yourself, are these emails transactional or are they relationship based? Transactional would be all about you. Thank you for applying for the job. We received your application. One of our team will review it. We'll get back to you. That's it. In this transaction, you did this, so we're doing that. Whereas relationship-based email would be, hey, thanks so much for applying. We received your application. We're going to review it. But in the meantime, I bet you'd like to learn more about why we're a great place to work. So here's the top 3 things our employees say about why they love working for us. Click here to go to our career site and watch our video from our team. We're starting to build our relationship. We're starting to build our brand, not brand because it has our logo or color scheme, but brand, our employer value proposition, because it starts to make the case or confirm the case for why we're a great place to work. Let me give you another example. Let's say I'm going to send you an invite for an assessment or a video interview. That request is an ask. I'm going to ask you to do something. I can just say, hey, Joe, we need you to take this hiring assessment or we won't move you forward in the process. Please go take it. That's more than just transactional. That's a demand. A relationship-based example would read, hey, Joe, we care so much about our team and our culture that we're very protective about who we let in. Part of the hiring process is take an assessment. This is the process you'll need to go through. By the way, here's what you get in return. I'm going to share the assessment results with you. If you'd like to learn more about the assessment, check out this video about what our employees have to say about what it was like to take it. This is a relationship bank account concept. Let's make some deposits. Let's remind you why we're a great place to work before we go and make an ask like, go take this assessment. Here's another one. Imagine you're sending out a video interview invite. Hey, we're sending out this video interview like, look at the video interviews are a bit impersonal, but we know that this will be helpful for you. It actually lets us see more job seekers than we would see normally. And so because of this, we believe it's of value to you to give you the opportunity to shine and stand out among a crowd of all these applicants. By the way, here's 5 tips of how you can improve your video interview experience. The last part I want to talk about though is rejected candidates. Most employers just leave them in their database. You might not realize it, but a high percentage of applicants applying for jobs today are already in your database, even if they come from the job boards, even if they're part of a sponsorship campaign. You already know them. We did a case study for one of our clients where we looked at how many applicants during a given period of time that weren't getting job alerts versus those that were. We compared it to their job alert database. And then we looked at their hires too. What group were getting job alerts versus none? And we looked at the conversion rate. What we found was that job seekers were 40% more likely to get hired if they were also receiving job alerts than if they weren't. You see, they were being followed up with and given more information about the company in the process. It wasn't just people who'd applied in the last 30 days. Some of these candidates have been getting job alerts for 6 or 12 or even 18 months, and they were still converting to hires at a much higher rate. The fact of the matter is there is huge power in relationship building throughout the hiring process. Every touch point is the opportunity to strengthen your employer brand and keep candidates engaged. even those you ultimately reject. So, what can you do about this? Well, here's a couple practical steps. Number one, audit all of your automated emails in your ATS. Read each one and ask, is this transactional or relationship building? Number two, rewrite your application confirmation email to include specific, compelling information about why your company is a great place to work and link it to your career site. Number three, when asking candidates to complete an assessment or interviews, balance the ask with deposits in the relationship bank account. Number four, set up automated job alerts to maintain relationships with the candidates in your database so they don't go cold. And number five, create value added content for rejected candidates, tips of their job search, resources for skills development, insights into your industry. Remember, recruiting isn't just about filling positions today, it's about building relationships with potential future employees with better referral sources, etc. Every touch point is your opportunity to strengthen your employer brand. If you found this valuable, check out my complete webinar on marketing mindset for HR professionals, where I share my entire framework for how to transform your recruiting approach. So here's my question for you. What are you going to do with this knowledge? Because knowledge isn't really worth anything if you don't actually implement it and execute it. Take 5 minutes today, go change that confirmation email. You'll be glad you did.